Hello there you guys, welcome to one of my videos. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer must be sacked now. Solskjaer is not good enough. Manchester United drew with Everton yesterday 1-1 at Old Trafford. That was 2 points dropped. Solskjaer got criticised for not starting Cristiano Ronaldo. Solskjaer came out and said that he had no regrets over not starting Ronaldo. I also criticised him for not starting Paul Pogba. We are winless in our last 2 league games. Obviously, last weekend we lost 1-0 to Aston Villa at Old Trafford. That was the first time Aston Villa won at Old Trafford in 12 years. Got knocked out of the Carabao Cup by West Ham the other week. And to be honest with you, we was lucky to beat Villarreal in midweek. You know, if it wasn't for Ronaldo, we wouldn't have won that game. But Solskjaer is under pressure. Solskjaer's job is safe for now because the Man United board retain full support for Solskjaer. Solskjaer got very good backing in the summer transfer window. John Murtough backed him. You know, John Murtough is our director of football. And we made the right decision getting a director of football in, because I did mention that's one of the structural changes we needed at the club. Darren Fletcher also backed him. And we made the right decision recommending Darren Fletcher back in. Darren Fletcher knows the club through thick and thin. He endured 2 decades as a player for Man United. And surprisingly, our owners, the Glazers, backed him, but only because they'd been persuaded to. And even Ed Woodward has backed him. I can assure Solskjaer is not the long-term manager for Man United. And I think a lot of United fans will agree with me on that aspect. Obviously, there's some United fans that are demanding Antonio Conte in to replace Solskjaer. Well, earlier on this season, there was reports coming out saying that Antonio Conte would accept the Man United job if Solskjaer was to get sacked. Conte said he wants a winning project, so he rejected Arsenal and he rejected Tottenham. Conte has got a good pedigree behind him. You know, he's won a lot of trophies in his home nation. When he was in his first season at Chelsea, he won the Premier League. Conte is available because he left Inter Milan at the end of last season. But I reckon if he taken over at Man United, you know, he'd do well and he'd suit the strappings of the club. There's also some Man United fans that want Zidane in to replace Solskjaer. Don't forget, at one point, Man United tried to get Mauricio Pochettino. And at one point, Pochettino was in talks with the club, but obviously we didn't get him in because Pochettino ended up going to PSG. But Solskjaer hasn't got a proven pedigree. Obviously, before he was with us, he was at Molde. He won a few Norwegian titles at Molde, but they're not a big club. He endured 2 spells at Mulder, and before Mulder he was at Cardiff, and his record at Cardiff was absolutely terrible. The reason he got sacked from Cardiff is because he ended up getting them relegated. Solskjaer has not yet won a trophy as Manchester United manager. We haven't won a trophy since 2017. That's nowhere near good enough to our standards, and I've already said that Solskjaer's got to win a trophy within the next 18 months to basically save his job. A few weeks ago, Solskjaer did mention that we must leave a legacy of silverware. I said at the start of this season that this season is absolutely massive for Solskjaer because he's got big expectations to exceed. This season is Solskjaer's third full season as Man United manager. Solskjaer has managed over 150 games as Man United manager in all competitions. Obviously, in the summer, Solskjaer signed a new contract with the club until 2024. There's an option of a further year. And we made a mistake giving Solskjaer that new contract because I can assure he won't see it out. But the reason Solskjaer is still Man United manager is because he's a club legend. That's what's basically saved his job. Disregarding being a legend of the club, I can assure he wouldn't have been here now. You know, Solskjaer endured 11 years as a player for Man United. He flourished under Sir Alex Ferguson's guidance. You know, Solskjaer has been in charge of Manchester United for almost 3 years. And Solskjaer has gained some managerial experience, reflecting now on his being Man United manager, and he's learned quite a bit on the job, but there's still plenty of things Solskjaer's got to learn because he's still a young coach. Like I've said to you before though, not all of the blame stems from Solskjaer when results aren't going our way and when we're inconsistent and when we've been inconsistent. Ollie's accountable for certain things, but obviously there's certain players that have had to take responsibility because there's still certain players at Man United that are not good enough to represent the club, and obviously I don't like the way the football club has run for such a long time. You know, Solskjaer got appointed in December 2018. He's been permanent Manchester United manager since March 2019. The reason Man United gave Solskjaer the job permanently back in March 2019 was reflecting how well he did as the interim manager in that 3-month period. We have spent 441 million under the Solskjaer era, and Solskjaer has signed 14 players. In the summer of 2019, Ollie recommended Daniel James, and Wan-Bissaka and Harry Maguire in. In January 2020, he brought Bruno Fernandes in and Odi Nagalo in on loan. In the summer of 2020, he brought Donny van de Beek in, Alex Telles, Edison Cavani, Amad Diallo and Facundo Pellistri. And in this year's summer transfer window, he recommended Tommy in Jadon Sancho, Rafael Varane, and we re-signed Cristiano Ronaldo after 12 years. Progress has been made under Solskjaer. Obviously, he's got us to semi-finals. He got us to 3 semi-finals in his first full season. Also got us to the EFL Cup semi-final last season, and last season he got us to the FA Cup quarter-final and the Europa League final, and that was Solskjaer's first major final as Man United manager. So there you go, Solskjaer got us a third place finish in his first full season, and he got us a second place finish last season. So basically Solskjaer's looking to build on what he produced in his first full season and in his second full season. Solskjaer has got rid of a lot of players since he's come in. Obviously, he's got rid of a lot of players permanently. He's loaned quite a few players out. So the players he's got rid of permanently, obviously, offloaded Daniel James in the summer transfer window. Also, Solskjaer released Sergio Romero and Joe Pereira. In January, Ole offloaded Igalo, Fossa Mensah and Marcus Rojo. Ole's also got rid of the likes of Ashley Young, Valencia, Smalling. That trio were long-serving players. He also offloaded Darmian, offloaded Fellaini in January 2019, offloaded Herrera, offloaded Angel Gomez, also offloaded Lukaku and Sanchez. Loaned a few players out in the summer transfer window. Obviously loaned Tahith Chong out, Facundo Palestri, Brandon Williams, loaned Ethan Laird out, Andres Pereira and Axel Tuanzebe. I like the way Solskjaer develops the youth. Solskjaer seems to have a lot of trustworthy in his young players, and Solskjaer's more or less giving everybody their chances to express themselves, including the young players, like he showed he would do when he got appointed in as Man United manager. But I've got to turn around and say that Ole has done a pretty good job. To say the current squad he was left with when he got appointed in as Man United manager, I didn't expect him to do as well as he has done, so in that aspect I am shocked. Despite me criticising Solskjaer a lot, I still reckon he's our best manager since Ferguson. Solskjaer knew when he'd taken over at Man United it was going to be a massive job, and he knew he had a lot to do when he came in. Solskjaer is inheriting players from other managerial eras. Obviously, we've still got Juan Mata here from the Moyes era. We've still got, players here who Louis van Gaal brought in. And obviously, there's still quite a few players here who Jose Mourinho brought in. There's only two here from Ferguson. That's obviously Phil Jones and David De Gea. Like I said to you though, we haven't been the same team since Ferguson retired. Obviously, a lot of United fans predicted it was all going to go wrong when Ferguson retired, which obviously it has done. No one's going to replicate what Ferguson did. Not in my lifetime anyway. And no one will last as long as he did. Ferguson endured a 27-year tenure at Man United. Won 30 odd trophies, including 13 Premier League titles. So, reflecting on that, Ferguson brought success to the club. But Ferguson didn't settle in straight away because he didn't win out in his first 4 years at Man United. So, it does take some managers time to settle in. The only mistake Ferguson made was recommending David Moyes in when he retired, but the reason he did that is because they're both Scottish and plus they seem to have a lot of time for each other. Obviously, since Ferguson we sacked 3 managers. We sacked David Moyes after 10 months. Moyes is the worst manager we've ever had. We finished 7th under the David Moyes era. We sacked Louis van Gaal after 2 years, was it? We won the FA Cup under Van Gaal. And Jose Mourinho, we sacked him after 2.5 years, despite him winning the Europa League, the League Cup and the Community Shield in his first season. Mourinho also got a second place finish in his first season. So you can say Mourinho did enjoy one good season at Man United. So yeah, Solskjaer is our fourth permanent manager since Ferguson. Our squad is worth around 805 million. It's like the third most expensive squad in world football. And we must have brought around 40 odd players in now since Ferguson retired. But Man United have got a good squad. So there's no more excuses. We should be winning the league this season because we've got a title winning squad. And Solskjaer's ambition for this season is to win the Premier League. We haven't won the Premier League since 2013, which is 8 years ago now. And earlier on this season, Solskjaer told his Man United squad that it's better than the 1999 treble winning team that Ole was part of. We've got the best player in the world in Cristiano Ronaldo. Ronaldo has done really well since he's re-signed. Ronaldo's already scored 5 goals. He scored the winner against Villarreal in the 95th minute of stoppage time. Obviously, Solskjaer was grateful for Ronaldo's winner, but Solskjaer did say he was lucky. Ronaldo said he wants to retire at Man United and then coach Cristiano Jr. in the Red Devils youth team. Prior to the Villa game the other week, Solskjaer said he believes Ronaldo can keep playing for Man United into his 40s. Ronaldo's 36 at the moment. Like I've said before though, we can't keep relying on Ronaldo to save Solskjaer. You can't work as individuals, you've got to work as a team, like Neville recently said. Ronaldo's already hinted that he's looking to stay at Man United beyond his current contract. Ronaldo's under contract with Man United till 2023. There's an option of a further year. Ronaldo receives £480,000 a week at Man United, so he's the highest earner. Ronaldo wears the number 7 shirt, and we got Ronaldo for 19.8 million with add-ons included. Ronaldo's won 32 major trophies in his playing career, including 5 Ballon d'Ors, and as you all know, he's already the record scorer in the Champions League, and earlier on this season he became the all-time international top scorer with 2 late goals against Ireland. Jadon Sancho is a good player, but Sancho has not enjoyed a good start to his Man United career. But it does take some time for some players to settle in. Sancho didn't start yesterday against Everton, but he came off the bench and he did quite well. Squandered a chance right at the death. It was probably his best performance so far in a Man United shirt. Solskjaer's been playing Sancho out of position though. He plays him on the left, doesn't he? He can play on the left, but he's not effective on the left. He's more effective on the right. Jadon Sancho is predominantly a right winger. Sancho can also be played centrally. Not so long ago, Borussia Dortmund warned Man United about the Jadon Sancho problem. Borussia Dortmund's CEO came out and said that Jadon Sancho's lack of game time at Man United is hurting my soul. We got Sancho in a deal worth 78 million with add-ons included. We paid 73 million up front. Sancho is under contract with Man United till June 2026. There's an option of a further year. Rafael Varane, he's a very, very good centre-half. He enjoyed a very good start to his Man United career, but in his last 2 games, he has looked off the pace. He'll do well at Man United with Varane though. Obviously, we got Varane in a deal worth 41 million with add-ons included. Man United paid like 34 million up front. The rest is in add-ons. Varane is under contract with Man United till 2025. There's an option of a further year. Varane to Man United was official just before kick-off against Leeds, which was the opening day. But Varane is regarded as one of the best centre-halves in the world. He's highly experienced and he's got a good pedigree behind him because Varane won a lot of trophies when he was at Real Madrid. And he was a long-serving player at Real Madrid. He endured 10 years with them. That's a very good centre-back partnership though, Varane and Harry Maguire, because they do complement each other well. Obviously, Varane's been playing alongside Lindelof recently because obviously Harry Maguire is unavailable. Maguire's out with injury. Going to be out for a few weeks, Solskjaer did confirm not so long ago. You know, De Gea, very, very good goalkeeper. I think he's done really, really well so far this season. De Gea didn't have much to do yesterday in the game against Everton. He made a one-handed save to deny Demarai Gray. And that was about it. Couldn't do anything about Townsend's goal. Well, maybe he should have done better. De Gea made some fantastic saves against Villarreal in midweek. De Gea kept us in that game, especially in the first half. Obviously, De Gea reclaimed his number one spot back. We know De Gea is staying at Man United for at least this season because in the summer it said De Gea decided to cut short his holiday by 2 weeks to fight for the starting place. And De Gea said he's determined to fight for his Man United future. You know, this season is De Gea's 11th season at Man United, so he has been a long servant. He's been with us since the Ferguson era. You know, De Gea has made mistakes in the last couple of years, but so far this season he's made up for them mistakes he made. De Gea's got under 2 years left on his contract and he receives £375,000 a week. But De Gea's won everything domestically at the football club and he's made over 500 appearances for Man United in all competitions. You know, you've got Dean Henderson, that's a good goalkeeper. Obviously, it said the other week that Dean Henderson wants a loan move away from Man United after De Gea reclaimed the number one spot back. I think Dean Henderson's only been in goal for one game this season. That was the Carabao Cup game against West Ham. To be fair, Dean Henderson did well in that one. Dean Henderson was out for a while though, wasn't he, with COVID. Henderson did well in a lot of the games he was in goal for last season. You know, his distribution was good, he made some very good saves and he kept a lot of clean sheets. Henderson has got that experience behind him. He endured 2 successful loans with Sheffield. He's also had other loan spells before. Before the start of last season, Henderson signed a 6-year contract with Man United. Luke Shaw, very good left back. Hasn't been great this season. He was far better last season than he has been so far this season. Luke Shaw's just come back from a minor injury and illness. You know, Shaw played yesterday against Everton. Wasn't brilliant, to be honest with you. Where was he for Yerimina's disallowed goal? Just struggled to make them overlapping runs yesterday. You know, Shaw's been our first choice left back for a while and he still remains our first choice left back despite the arrival of Alex Telles last year. Shaw's had a good career at Man United despite his injuries and Shaw's remained loyal to Man United for a long time. He's been with us now for like 7.5 years. Shaw's got just under 2 years left on his current contract. Harry Maguire, you know, he's a decent centre-half. You know, he's had his good games at Man United. He's also had his bad games. He hasn't done well so far this season. Revert back to what I said earlier, you know, Maguire's out with injury at the moment. Obviously, he had ligament damage towards the end of last season, and he was a big miss. We overpaid for Maguire, got him in a deal worth 80 million from Leicester, most expensive centre-half in the world at the moment and the second most expensive signing at the club. I think Eric Bailly's a decent centre-half as well. Obviously, Bailly's future is in doubt following the arrival of Raphael Varane in the summer transfer window, but I think we should keep Bailly as a backup. But I heard that he could be leaving in January. My only element of concern about Eric Bailly is injury prone, so in that aspect, he's a liability. Towards the end of last season, Bailly signed a new contract with Man United till 2024. There's an option of a further year. And Wan-Bissaka, I think he's a very, very good right back. He has had some good games this season. He's also had some poor games. I thought Wan-Bissaka was good yesterday against Everton. He got up and down the pitch well, especially in the first half. He made some very good blocks. He made one good block to deny a Decore strike. I don't think Bissaka was bad against Villa as well, to be honest with you. Bissaka didn't play against Villarreal because obviously he was suspended. Yeah, there's still aspects of Wan-Bissaka's game that's got to improve. He has got to get forward more, his crossing's got to improve, and his positioning has got to improve. Despite that, though, he's still one of our best right-backs since Gary Neville. This season is Wan-Bissaka's third full season at Man United. We got Bissaka for, 50 million from Crystal Palace back in the summer of 2019. Paul Pogba, he's very, very good. He's done well so far in the league this season. He's already got 7 assists. Pogba produced good performances for Man United in the last couple of months of last season. At one point last season, though, he was out with a thigh injury for a while, and Pogba sustained some ankle injuries at Man United. And like I said to you, I'm hoping he signs a new contract. Like I said to you earlier, I can't understand why Pogba didn't start against Everton yesterday, but he did come on in the game. I think Donny van de Beek is also a good player, but I haven't really had much of a perception on him at Man United because he doesn't get enough game time. Van de Beek played no part against Everton yesterday. Didn't play against Villarreal either, reflecting on that. Donny van de Beek will try to force a January transfer away from Man United following his Villarreal meltdown, and van de Beek was recently furious with Solskjaer as he was left on the bench in Man United's win over Villarreal. Van de Beek was spotted throwing chewing gum in the dugout. Van de Beek, though, he played the full 90 minutes against West Ham the other week, and he put a very good performance out, and he started against Young Boys in the Champions League a few weeks ago, but he got taken off at half-time in that game, and I criticised Solskjaer for that. He shouldn't have taken him off because he was our best player in the first half of that game, but I've already said, Solskjaer needs to start Van de Beek, especially in the Premier League. Don't forget Solskjaer rejected Donny van de Beek's exit because Everton were close to signing him on loan. But many clubs have been in for him. He's had a long-running transfer saga. The other week, Don Hutchinson told Van de Beek he must leave Man United to save his career, and Paul Ince came out and said that Van de Beek has absolutely no chance of staying at Man United. A few weeks ago, Van de Beek's agent did a lot of talking. This season's Van de Beek's second full season at Man United. We got him for £40 million. And, with us paying £40 million for him, you'd expect him to play week in, week out. Van de Beek's got a contract with Man United till 2025. and he's versatile. He can play in 3 different roles. You've got Fernandes, that's very, very good. Obviously, Fernandes got the assist for Martial's goal yesterday against Everton. Fernandes also got the assist for Tellez's goal against Villarreal. Last weekend, though, Bruno Fernandes missed a 93rd minute penalty against Aston Villa, so Fernandes missed out on the opportunity to salvage us a point. Ronaldo should have taken that penalty. You've got Mason Greenwood, that's very, very good. You've got Cavani, that's made an impact since he's come in. I'm expecting Cavani, though, to leave in January or at the end of this season. Real Madrid want Cavani on loan in January. Real Madrid wanted Cavani in the summer transfer window, but the club failed to make a move happen. Real Madrid will wait until next summer for their main attacking targets, Erling Haaland and Mbappe. Barcelona try to get Edison Cavani on deadline day in the summer transfer window. I think they'll reignite their interest in January. Cavani's got just under a year left on his contract. Back in May, signed a 1-year contract extension. Cavani receives over £200,000 a week. Cavani obviously started against Everton yesterday, had a very good chance from a downward header, produced a good save from Pickford. Cavani come back from injury not so long ago. And you've got Marcus Rashford that's good when he wants to be, but he's enjoyed his bad periods at Man United. The good news is Rashford is really close to returning now, which is good news from a Man United perspective. So there you go, we have got a good squad. Obviously, there's quite a few players that don't even get in our team. Mata doesn't get in the team, Martial doesn't play a lot. I'm really surprised he started yesterday. Dalot doesn't get in the team. Dalot's our backup right back. Bailly, he doesn't really get in the team. Lindelof doesn't really get in the team now. He's only been playing recently because Maguire's been out. Tellez doesn't hardly get in the team. Van der Beek hardly gets in the team. Jones doesn't get in the team either. So there you go. So anyway, guys, that's everything to update you today. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless. See you all again very, very soon.